And I asked him, I said, do you realize what you're doing? He genuinely didn't. I said, what are you going to call this, man? What do you call this music? He said, I don't know. I said, let me give you a suggestion. You know, Quincy Jones and George Jackson, God rest his soul, and Warner Brothers hired me to write this movie called New Jack City. I think you should call this music New Jack Swing. And that's when I went to my editors at The Voice, and they said, what do you want to call this? You got to call this Teddy Riley's New Jack Swing. This is so different. It still resonates to this day, over 30 years later. It reverberates. And you know what, Jake? It's like what me and George Jackson were trying to accomplish with that movie is something he picked up from a guy who used to do, well, Frankie Crocker, God rest his soul, on BLS, used to say, Frankie Crocker's not on your radio's not really on. And then he would play Eddie Jefferson, There I Go, There I Go, There I Go, at the end of all of his programs. And Eddie Jefferson coined this word, edutainment, which people think KRS-One invented that. No, that's from Eddie Jefferson, the jazz guy. And that's what George said, Barry, we got to have, this movie has to be edutainment. So it's entertaining, but we got to educate people too. And I think that what, by the grace of God, what we accomplished was it operated on several levels, Jake. Musically, before the Above the Rim soundtrack, anything else, that New Jack City soundtrack just took over everything. You know, it really put Irvin Azoff and his giant records on the map, everything. It really did something that nobody else expected it to accomplish. And that's to take this inner city music, this hip hop, this inner city R&B, this New Jack Swing to all of America, from Harlem to the farmlands of Idaho, to Los Angeles, to Portland, Maine, to Portland, Oregon, to the UK, to France, to Asia, to Africa. It became global.